I'm going to explain why you shouldn't train across the full spectrum of muscle building rep ranges within one session if you want to maximize your muscle gain long term. And the reason for that is that the body is an incredible adaptive mechanism, and it adapts to pretty much anything you throw at it. And it adapts, actually, in my experience, very quickly to the rep range. Now, if you do all of the different rep ranges within one session, you haven't given yourself anywhere to go in your next phases of training. For example, if you're doing one exercise for a heavy set of 5, another exercise at about 8 reps, next exercise is sets of 10, then you're doing 12 to 15 reps on another exercise and finishing up with 20 plus pump reps at the end, that's a great workout. It feels like a great workout in terms of you've got a really good pump, a nice stimulus, you think you've ticked all the boxes. Well, that's true, but it's looking at the world through a straw. You're focusing in on one session and instant gratification, but not thinking long term and continuing to make gains for week on week, month on month, year on year. Because if the body adapts to the rep ranges you're doing and you provide it that complete spectrum in one session, where does it leave you for your next phase? You haven't got any other rep ranges to go into to provide a novel stimulus, to keep challenging the body to grow. So rather than being impatient and throwing everything at one session, you're better off holding a little bit back and giving yourself a bigger runway, a bigger window of opportunity to keep making changes that provide a stimulus, a muscle building stimulus. So for example, you could start out, your first phase could be mostly sets in the 12 to 15 rep range. You could progress fairly linearly. The next phase could be mostly 10 to 12 reps. Phase after that could be a lot of work in the 6 to 8 rep range. Now, what I find is after about 3 phases like that, that adaptive resistance kicks in. The body, as I said, adapts to everything, and it's starting to adapt to high volume bodybuilding style training, and it's becoming quite resistant to gaining muscle. So then you can throw the kitchen sink at things, and that's when I like throwing in a final phase where you literally blast everything, throw the kitchen sink at it. You might be hitting some heavy work, but then doing really wide range of rep ranges, or doing things like giant sets and drop sets to completely trash the muscle and make sure that you've left nothing on the table for that final phase. The reason being, after that, you've pretty much maxed out the amount of muscle you can build over those 4 phases of training. You're going to need to then change your style of training slightly to resensitize yourself to muscle building training. And then the way you do that, you drop volume back, you focus on a strength phase where your training volumes are much lower. You're maybe hitting lots of sets of 5 or 6 reps and just training to get stronger. And doing that means that you wash away the fatigue from all that high volume training you've accumulated over 4 phases, especially that last phase where you absolutely blasted things. Your body gets to recover, you bring down your overall level of fatigue, you refresh yourself to the stimulus of bodybuilding style training by doing a really low volume approach, which means when you transition back to sort of muscle building training, then you're much more receptive to that and you get great gains again. And then you can follow that path, and it's kind of cyclical fashion where you progress the volume up, blast it at the end, then deload in terms of volume into a strength phase, repeat again. And that is a phenomenal way to get great results. I've actually been running exactly that sequence with quite a few of my online clients, my own personal training, and a couple of my in-person clients as well, with fantastic results. I should have some fantastic transformation pictures coming your way soon on that. Actually, I'm really excited to share those. But try structuring your training in that way if you want to build as much muscle as possible.